Beautiful beings, welcome. Happy Wednesday. So just find a comfortable position to just begin. So if you want to lay down, you can lay down on your back or on your belly. If you want to come up into a seat, you can start in a seated position. If you wish to come into child's pose, just coming to the knees and just shifting the hips back towards the heels. So just choosing your position to begin our practice. It's just taking a moment just to tune into your body and your breath. So beautiful to be with you here today as we appreciate the winter sunshine and the beautiful weather that we've been blessed with. Just taking a moment just to really tune in and be grateful for everything that we have. Just to breathe this sense of gratitude into your whole body. Into every cell of your being. And then just allow your eyes to gently float closed. And then keep that sense of deep gratitude for life, for all of the blessings around you, within you. The blessing of awareness, of experience, the blessing just to simply be human in this physicality, in this time of change. And then just allow your body to drop further into the earth, noticing your position and how you can settle a little deeper into that sense of weight and gravity pulling you down. Notice if there's anything that you're physically carrying inside of your body. Is there tension, uncertainty? Perhaps there's some injuries that you're aware of. Sending love and kindness to any areas of the body that might need that extra love. Not judging any part of you, but loving you wholly and completely. And then just witness your in and out breath and the quality of your breath. Witness the rise and the fall of the abdomen, the expansion and contraction of your chest. Witness this moment in its fullness. The present moment. Just being here now with whatever it is that surrounds you. And then just allowing for just 7 conscious breaths. Just witness each in and out breath. Count 1. And follow the next in and out breath. In your own time. 2. And just continue until you just reach 7 conscious breaths. When you've completed your 7 breaths, just notice perhaps a sense of stillness. If the mind does drift and wander, just come back to this sense of breathing and being and presence. And then just allow for an intention to come through. Notice what sounds true for you in this moment, what that intention might be, whether it be just to be present, whether it extends further out into your life, something that you're working through or towards. You'll know, trust it, feel it. And then anchor that intention into your heart. And then with that intention deeply rooted into your heart, your soul, your being, just gently allow your body just a little movement. So if you're on the earth laying down on the back or the belly, you just start to stretch and wriggle a little. If you are seated, you'll just maybe notice that the hands also move, or you start to stir the body a little, or maybe you stretch the legs out if you're feeling a cross-legged position you need to adjust out of. If you're in child's pose, you might bring yourself up to a seat. Know that there's no right or wrong way to move your body right now. Just tune in to this sense of deep connection to self and how your physical body wants to move from that place. So just trust it, be intuitive, know that no one can really see you, and if you really feel to, you can always switch your camera off. And take all the time that you need to move, to stir, to stretch, to yawn, to make any adjustments. And if you are on the earth, laying down on your back or your belly, eventually we are going to come to meet in a seat. So find a way to get there. You might draw knees into the chest. You might roll to one side. Just enjoy the journey. It's not just this destination because you've heard where you need to get to and you move unconsciously. Be conscious of every movement. And then when you do make it into a seated position, just cross the legs. And if you're already started in a cross-legged position, cross the opposite leg in front. And then we're all just going to start to circle the body around the pelvis. Start to notice the movement. And most of us have no doubt slowed down somewhat. You might start to notice it physically in your body, particularly if you are doing a lot of sitting. Just be aware of movement, circles, stirring one direction and the other direction. And then from there, we're just going to come into rounding through the spine. So just holding onto the knees, drawing the chin to the chest. And then as you dive the chest forward, slide the hands towards the hips, along the thighs, opening the heart, lifting the chin, squeezing the two shoulder blades together. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, slide the hands to knees, round back, chin to throat. Move with your breath. Inhale, slide hands along thighs, lift chin, hug elbows to ribs, squeeze shoulder blades together. As you exhale, draw the belly in, round through the spine. Try not to pull the knees off the earth. And then continue that movement pattern for 3 more breaths. The inhalation lifts you up. The exhalation, you empty and release. So see if you can breathe really slowly. Be conscious that you are breathing and that you aren't holding the breath at any point. When you've completed 3, come back to a neutral spine. Just bring the feet around to one side or roll forward. Come to hands and knees. Press the hands into the earth. Press the tops of the knees and shins into the earth. And then just start to inhale, lift the heart. Let the tailbone lift, belly falls. As you exhale, round through the spine, press the hands into the earth, tops of the feet, shins into the earth as the chin comes to the throat. Keep that movement pattern, inhaling, coming into upward facing cat. As you exhale, press the floor away, draw the belly in, chin to throat. Just explore 5 more of these on your own. We do the seated variation. Notice how it feels in your body. Your option here is to exhale the breath through the mouth, or even poking the tongue to the chin and creating that lion's roar. There might be pauses between the breaths. There might even be a cough to release any phlegm that might build. When you've completed, come back to neutral. If you're not opting for downward facing dog, just tuck the toes under, walk the hands forward, let the hips sink towards the heels. So puppy pose, that's your option. You can start there or come back there at any time. Or if you're coming to down dog, tuck the toes, lift the knees, start to place the weight on the hands and feet and gently pedal out through the feet here. So really slowly conscious and aware that one heel is lowering as the other is lifting. Just noticing the backs of the legs, the thighs, and the strength in the upper body. So just allow for any organic movement, maybe 2 knees straighten and 2 knees bend. You might enjoy just straightening one and then the other. Just explore. And then my suggestion after that will be to swivel the toes over to one side and drop the heels to the other side. And then pop a bend in the knee so the hips move towards the heels. So there's a little rotation occurring here. You can hold here for 2, 3, 4 breaths, maybe you choose. And then you come back to center and switch to the other side. Just breathing in and out. At any point, remember you can come back, drop to the knees, child's pose or puppy pose. Just a few more breaths to explore here. If there's any wrist injuries, just modify, listen to your body. That's the most important part of your practice. If you're not in a down dog, just press yourself into that position for a moment and separate your feet wide, just so we can walk the hands towards the feet. So we're all going to meet in a forward fold at the back of our mat with relatively wide feet, mat distance or even wider. Grab a hold of the wrists or the elbows and just let the body dangle there. Just let there be a sense of freedom. Just let the weight just kind of swing through, the head swing through. Shake, nod the head. Maybe sway a little side to side or bend and straighten the knees a little so you're swaying a little to the side. Toes might turn out, all is well, just trust your body. There's no way you can do this wrong. Just let there be a few more breaths here as we explore the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Just feel the weight of the head pulling the neck towards the earth, lengthening the neck, lengthening the spine. And just a few more breaths, maybe some stillness now. See if you can just be centered, grounded, and still. Try to eliminate any strain behind the eyes or the jaw or throat. Let there be a sense of ease to the breath. Feel the sensations through your body as you breathe, and rather than avoid what you feel, just sit with the sensations without judgment. And then if you're holding the wrists or the elbows, just let them fall towards the earth. And we're going to clasp the hands gently behind the back with an interlock of the hands to the lower back. Then just gently pressing the elbows straight as you can. You might notice the arms lifting. You might just keep the hands at the lower back if the shoulders are a little tight. We're going to lift the chest to a halfway position. So as you inhale, just kind of looking forward a little to the top of your mat, squeezing the shoulder blades together, press through the feet, inner thighs hug in. As you exhale, just take it forward and through, arms maybe reaching forward towards the front of your mat. Inhale, press, lift halfway, pull the knuckles back, squeeze behind the shoulder blades. As you exhale, let yourself fold forward and through. Do that again, press through the feet, inhale, squeeze, find length through the neck as the shoulders pull away from the ears. And then exhale, take that forward fold and just hold it there for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhaling for 1. Full deep breath in, really slowing the breath down for 2. And then 1 more full inhalation. Empty the lungs completely for 3. Release the hands to the lower back and then down to the earth. Walk your hands gently out into a plank position, and then just step your feet just so they're a little bit closer. So we're just finding a plank for a moment. We're going to lower knees, untuck the toes, look out in front, hug the elbows in. Elbow creases face forward, just lower the chest and chin all the way down, belly comes down. Come to a little baby cobra, hug the elbows in, tops of the feet press in. And then as you exhale, take it down to the earth. We're just going to float again as you inhale, tops of the feet press. Hug the elbows in, lift a little or maybe a little higher. As you exhale, lower to the earth. Just notice how the spine feels. Again, lifting on an in breath. Taking it down on an out breath. This time bring the hands with you and hold here for 3 breaths. Inhaling and exhale. Notice as you inhale, you might squeeze and lift a little higher. Hold that height as you exhale. We've just got 1 more breath. Inhale. Use that exhalation now to gently take it down to the earth. Press to the hands and knees as you breathe in. Shift back into child's pose as you breathe out. So sit the hips back to the heels and just let there be a little sway maybe if that feels good for the body. Maybe it's stillness. Just rocking a little. You can adjust the knees wide if you feel you need a little space for the belly to melt. So remember, our bodies are all very unique to us. So we're all going to require different positions of legs, feet, arms. So just modify as your body requires. And then from child's pose, walk your hands towards your knees. And if you did separate the knees, just bring them together. And then sweep the arms out wide and up. Rise and stand on the shins. As you exhale, gently release the hips to the heels. Bring your hands to your heart. So you're controlling the descent down. And then as you inhale, press, rise, palms lift. Take it into a little bit of a back. And as you exhale, bring the hands behind you into lock, stay on the knees. Climb up through the spine, inhale. Just hold here for a few deep breaths. If you're feeling it's too strong, you don't have to go as far back. So you might just be upright with an interlock. You might slowly squeeze the buttocks and press the pelvis forward. Lift up through the sternum. You might not want to throw the head back, but be conscious that there is still a little activation there in the neck. 2 more breaths. With each breath, you might go a little deeper without force or strain, just breathing. And 1 more breath. And then as you bring the body back to center on an in-breath, sweep the arms out wide, and then step the right foot forward. Release the hands down to either side of the front foot. Lift the right arm up as you breathe in. Take a little twist. Pop a little bend in that top elbow. Squeeze behind the shoulder blades. Your option here is to stay here or curl your back toes under. Maybe lift the back knee off the earth, taking a little rotation. Again, it's always your choice. A few more deep breaths here. Hug the right knee in towards the midline so we're not rolling onto the outer blade of the foot, but really pressing down through the heel, base of the big toe mound and little toe. And then if that back knee is lifted, release it down to the earth. Bring the hand down to the outside of your right foot. Shift your hips back to a half split pose or Ardha Hanumanasana. Flex the toes a lot. And you want to straighten the leg as best you can. Maybe walk the hands forward. We're all going to have different flexibility here. Just breathing in and out. On the in-breath, there might be a slight lift. Sternum pulls forward. As you exhale, maybe forehead moves closer towards the shin. Notice the back body rising as you inhale to explore breath. As you exhale, feel the forward fold as you come a little deeper. So 1 more little pulse here. Inhale, moving slightly with the breath. And then exhale all of the breath out. Empty the lungs completely. Maybe hold it here for a few rounds or just pausing. And when you are ready to breathe in, you might still be holding the breath. It might feel really nice. When you are ready, just bend that front knee. Lift the back knee off the earth. Walk the hands around to the left. So you're coming into a wide leg forward fold here. And before you take a wide leg forward fold, just sway the hips a little side to side. So you're just straightening one knee and bending the other, getting into the inner thighs and the groin. Just moving nice and gently through the body. Just exploring the whole body, the whole experience of body, mind, soul. And then coming to that forward fold, ensure that the toes are facing the wall that you're now facing. And then once again, bring the hands behind you. This time interlace the opposite index finger on top, so it's the least preferred grip. And then just as we did at the back of our mat, we're taking it a little deeper this time with wider legs. Just breathing in and out. If it's really uncomfortable to have the interlace of the hands, just lower the hands to the lower back, to the sacrum. If their arms reach forward, just relax the shoulders. Try not to pull or tug at any point. And then see if you can start to join the heel of your hands together. So noticing the squeeze right behind the shoulder blades. Take 3 more breaths. Those of you familiar with Ujjayi breath, you can start to bring that into your practice. Those who aren't, I will explain the breath. The breath is in and out through the nose. You imagine that you're fogging up a mirror with the mouth closed. So you start to produce a sound in your throat. You can try a few rounds with the mouth open. And eventually you'll find that with the closed mouth, you start to produce that Ujjayi breath. On your next breath in, just rise all the way up. Release the hands, bring them to the lower back, and just take a supported back bend. So taking it in the opposite direction. Maybe a little movement through the hips or a little fist action here, just kind of massaging that lower back and that glute area, which is really good if we have been doing a lot more sitting than normal. So just kind of enjoy the movement. And then from there, bring the hands to the hips. Turn the right toes forward and just bend and straighten that front knee. You might need to adjust the back foot a little, so we're coming into a warrior 2 position. So just bend and straighten the knee. And as you bend the knee, be conscious of the direction that your knee is facing. So be conscious that it's tracking over your second toe. So you're rooting down through the big toe mound, the base of the little toe, and the center of the heel. And so just noticing if you're aware or if there's a little tightness maybe in the inner thigh or groin. And when you're ready to hold the knee bent, just bend the knee. Notice that it's in line with your ankle. And then keep the hands on the hips, have a look at the back foot, lift the arch of the back foot. And then begin to reach the arms all the way up. Create length from the tailbone all the way up through the crown. Try not to reach too far through the fingers. Let the shoulders soften. There might be a slight bend in the elbows. And now release the arms parallel to the earth. Gaze forward to your middle front finger. As you inhale, straighten your front leg, lift the arms. As you exhale, bend the front knee, look over the middle front finger. Keep the knee tracking over your second toe. Lift the arch of your back foot. Inhale, press, lift, rise on up. As you exhale, bend that front knee, expand your awareness, expand your horizon. 3 more cycles, inhale to lift. As you exhale, expand your wings, bend your front knee. 1 more cycle, inhale as we lift. Exhale, bend that front knee, reach the arms long. Take 2 breaths here, inhale. Find that awareness, that drishti, exhale for 1. Find stability and strength for 2. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, slide the left hand down the thigh, right arm reaches up. As you exhale, just take a little cartwheel of the arms to either side of the front foot, spin on the ball of the back foot. Lower the back knee to the earth, straighten that front leg again, come to Ardha Hanumanasana. Breathing in, lengthen the sternum forward. Walk the hands a little further forward, fold a little deeper. Notice that right leg. Breathing in, breathing out. Just 2 more breaths here, really lengthening the back of that right thigh. Use that Ujjayi breath, imagining that you're fogging up a mirror. 1 more breath. And exhale all of the breath up. Walk the hands in, slide the heel, and if it's slid out a little, bend that front knee. Lift the back knee off the earth. Walk your hands forward. We're balancing on the right leg. I want to walk the left foot in. We'll start to lift it all the way off the earth. Bring your hands under your shoulders. If you need blocks or if you've got any cushions or something that you can use as blocks, bring them underneath each hand under the shoulder to keep the shoulders and hips in alignment. Keep your left toes facing down so there's an inner rotation. Press out through your heel, pull your sternum along. Just take a few breaths here, really rooting down through that standing leg. Breathing in and out, keeping that steady eye gaze. It's always a little trickier to balance in the evening, so don't be alarmed if the balance isn't there. Take 1 more breath. This time as you exhale, curl your knee into your nose, point the left toes, lift the heel really high and close to your buttocks. And then step left foot beside the right. Bring your hands to your shins, take a halfway lift in. Forward fold, allow the forehead to release down to the shins. Do that twice more, breath in, just a little movement before we take some static yin poses. Exhale. Or one more breath, half. Exhale, full. Little bend in the knees, sweep the arms out wide and up. Hook the thumbs above you. Just take a little reach over to the right and just pause there for a few breaths, lengthening the left side of the body. Use those thumbs, really try and pull them apart. Create length and then take it over to the right. Just taking a few breaths into the left side ribs as the 2 feet root down and connect to the earth. And then on your next breath in, rise on up, switch the cross of the thumbs. And just gently take it over to the left. It doesn't have to be a huge lean, pressing the hips to the right, reaching over to the left. Just keep the left shoulder pressing forward slightly so the right shoulder can stack over the ear. After a few breaths, you'll notice the body responding. So when we clench and when we tense, we create more tension in the body. Just want to relax and be the sense of awareness, stillness. And then breath in, press, reach on up. Take the palms together, a little gentle back bend if it serves you. Exhale, bring the hands down through the center of the body. Just take a halfway lift, inhale. And then as you exhale, step the right foot back, followed by the left. Come back to downward facing dog, unless you opt for puppy pose or child's pose. And just take another little pedal out through the feet. You might notice the right leg very different to the left at this point. We haven't done too much with that left just yet. Just noticing the movement, noticing the body. And then just pausing in down dog and seeing if you can find alignment here in down dog. Maybe the feet are hip distance apart. See if you can bring the hands and the feet with equal weight on each, so you're not favoring left or right, nor hands or feet. Give the neck or head a good shake to release the neck. And just let the head drop as you gaze just towards the space between the feet. The heels are directly behind your toes. Maybe the legs press a little straighter. See if you can draw the lower belly in and up and pull those lower floating ribs in. Spread the fingers even wider. Press through the heel of the hands and the fingertips. Take a breath in. Exhale the breath up. Ujjayi breath, 2 more cycles. Inhale, notice there's a slight movement. Exhale, chest presses to the thighs. 1 more breath. Exhale. Bend the knees, drop down to the shins, untuck toes, come back to child's pose. Adjust the hands so now they're facing behind you. Forehead rests on the earth, or if it doesn't, just bring one hand on top of the other just to create a little stability there for the forehead to rest upon. Or if the forehead rests gently on the earth, just bring the hands behind you and just rock along the forehead. So whether it be on the earth or on the hands, just stimulate just the third eye, just enjoying that rock. And just gently find stillness. And then just ensure the knees are together. If they're not, just kind of walk them together. And then as you rise onto the shins, just slide the fingertips along the earth towards the knees and then forward and up. Lift all the way up. As you exhale, bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. As you inhale, climb up through the spine, opening through the chest. As you exhale, this time bring the crown of the head to the earth, tuck chin to throat. Let's see if you can lift the hips and add a little pressure on the crown as you reach the arms forward. If that's too strong, just stay in a child's pose. Otherwise, you're rolling right onto the crown of the head, stimulating that crown chakra. Not too much pressure. Just be aware of the neck. Coming into rabbit pose just briefly. And then hips sink to the heels. Free the arms. Reach them forward and up as you rise on up again. So as you exhale, left foot steps forward, hands to either side of the front foot. And then just gently reaching that left arm up. Bend a little into the elbow, really squeezing behind the shoulder blades, and just enjoy that slight rotation here. You've got the option to curl the toes, lift the knee, hug the left knee into the midline towards the right shoulder. Just breathe, explore. There's no fixed position, just one that you can breathe in, one that we find sthira and sukham, a place between effort and ease. And if the knee's lifted, just lower it down, bring that left hand down to the outside of the left foot, start to straighten that front knee. And you might want to slide the heel forward, just make the adjustment so we can just find half or adha, which is half, Hanuman, which is monkey, asana, which is pose. So the half monkey pose. Just straightening more and more through that left leg, flexing the toes. Just imagining a slight pull back of the left heel towards the back of your mat. Notice how that slightly pulls the left hip back, right hip forward, just to even out the pelvis. Breathing in and out, maybe you notice that lift and that heart expansion. And that fold gently forward. Just explore 3 more breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling, maybe there's a little more depth. 1 more breath. Exhale all the breath out. Maybe you hold the breath out there for a little bit. See if you can sustain what it feels like to maybe hold the breath to a point where you're not struggling, where you're not causing any stress to the body. And then you'll bend back into that front knee. We lift the back knee off the earth. I'm going to walk the hands around to the right and just sway the hips, just as we did on the other side, getting into the inner thighs of the groin. Just enjoy some side lunges. Maybe try to free the arms from the earth and add a little strength into the equation. Maybe you bring one hand down and lift the other. Just enjoy your variation of movement here. Your body's going to do what it needs to. It might not look anything like mine, so just don't attach to the way it looks, but rather more how it feels. And then when you are ready, we're going to find that forward fold. So just ensure the toes are facing me, facing forward, the wall that you're facing. And we're just going to rise straight on up this time. So bring your hands to your hips and just rise all the way up and take that supported back bend. Just enjoy the thighs pressing forward, the elbows squeezing, the shoulder blades squeezing, the heart lifting. And then gently coming back to upright. Turning the left toes forward. Bend and straighten that front knee. Just as we did on the right side, be aware of the knee and the ankle. So if you need to adjust, toe heel the back foot away a little. Ensure that the knee tracks over your second toe so you're not rolling inwards. Sometimes when we're quite tight in that inner thigh, we roll inwards. So just keep that external slight rotation there. We want to lift the arch of the back foot and the straightening of that back leg. And then when you're ready, you'll just bend and have a look and see how that all feels. You want to draw the tailbone to face down, bring the arms all the way up, inhale. And then as you exhale, bring them parallel to the earth. And then we're going to float here. As you inhale this time, straighten the front leg, lift the arms, maybe gaze up. As you exhale the breath, gaze forward to the middle front finger and beyond as you bend the knee. Inhale to lift, reach, find strength. Exhale, expand, release. 1 more cycle of breath. And exhale, find that warrior 2 position. Just pause for a moment. Just breathe through any experience, any challenges. Know that everything that we experience in life is temporary. Take 1 more breath. And then flip the front palm a little, reach forward. As we exalt our warrior, left arm reaches up and back, right hand slides down. And then as you exhale, let the arms cartwheel to either side of the front foot. Spin on the ball of the back foot. Release the knee, straighten that front knee down again. We're coming back into that half split pose. You might walk the hands a little further forward, even slide the heel forward this time. And just take 3 more breaths here. Just count them on your own this time. And then a slow slide in at the heel. If you did slide it out to bend the front knee, curl the back toes, lift the back knee. We're walking the hands forward, maybe a little step in of the back foot. until you're ready to float and land on that left leg. You want the heel and hip to maybe be in alignment, shoulders in line with hips. So if you need something under the hands, bring them now. And then pull the sternum forward in a rotation slightly of that right thigh. So you're imagining that you're kind of just turning it up towards the ceiling. Turn the toes down, lift the chest, inhale. And then as you exhale, draw the knee into the chest, point the toes, lift the heel high to the buttocks, lift the shin, try and curl into a tight, tight, tight little ball. And then step the 2 feet together, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Circle the arms out wide and up in breath. And just bring the hands lightly to the center of the chest as you close your eyes and find complete stillness. Just take a moment to observe the heat in your body, to observe the breath and the heartbeat. And just to witness everything that's occurring. And to just be the witness. Take 3 more breaths. And you've completed 3 breaths. Bow your chin to your chest. Gently blink your eyes open. Just toe heel your feet. Just keep toe heeling them out, and then turn your heels out, toes out, heels in. Just bend the knees, drop into the hips, and release the hands down so you can kind of maneuver into a squat here, into a malasana squat. So it's a nice wide leg. So if you're not sure what it looks like, it's kind of nice big kind of frog squat. And just bring the hands to the heart and then bring the chest forward. So there's not this kind of slouching of shoulders to ears, but rather lengthening through the crown. And then as you press your elbows into the knees, see if you can also hug the inner thighs or inner part of the knees, kind of in also towards the triceps. So you're adding a little pressure in both directions. So there's a push and a pull that you're not able to see, but that you can definitely feel. So really squeezing the inner thighs. And now release the inner thighs and just kind of let the body just sink here. So we're going to be very different here. If you're finding this is really uncomfortable in the ankles or the buttocks and you're really struggling, if you've got something just to place underneath the pelvis, you can always just come into malasana here. Otherwise, just enjoy just this kind of release in it now. So we did add a little pressure. Now we're just kind of collapsing into it a little. And then you might notice your chin moving towards your chest. Your thumbs might come to the third eye, or you might start to release and flop the hands down. You might notice the feet want to adjust a little bit. So we're going to make this a little bit more yang-like. We won't hold it for too long. Just kind of drop into this squat for a few moments. Another option is to interlace the hands behind the back of the head. And just notice how that just adds a little lengthening through the back of the neck. So it's not going to be one shape fits all. So there's lots of suggestions there for you to explore. We don't do too much sitting in this position. So just observe the feet, the hips, pelvis, the mind that tries to pull us out. Try to stay with a steady breath, a calm mind, finding balance between the breaths, balance in our lives. And just explore now 5 more breaths. Take your time, explore those 5 breaths. The hands are behind the head, they might slide back down to the earth. Eventually we're going to come back into that forward fold. So just gently lift the hips. Just turn the toes forward. We're still at the top of the mat here. We'll just take a ragdoll, just as we explored a little bit earlier in our practice at the back of our mat. Just let there be this sense of dangling, the sense of freedom. We've worked the hamstrings quite a lot already, so just notice now how it feels. And just dangle in the middle. The arms might flop to the floor, or if you need some support, you might place something just underneath you, just to kind of flop on. You might notice the legs straightening more and more, or you might stay with a significant bend in the knees. Just evaluate whether there is a strain, a tightening, a tension. Observe it. Just maybe ask the question, what is my body trying to tell me? What am I holding? A lot of the time we hold just things in our body that we aren't even aware of until we sit with it rather than run away. Notice if you are shifting the weight more to the right or the left, just observe. You might even shift a little just to notice. You might even shift a little forward back just to notice. And then with that little movement, you'll notice that there'll be a place that you explore which feels quite interesting. It might be more forward, it might be more back. It might be just relaxing into this a little bit more. Just drop into the stillness here. As we come into dangling pose, which is one of our yin poses. Just notice any resistance, any tingling or sensation. There shouldn't be pain in the body. So if there's pain, just modify and adjust. Discomfort is quite natural. The body responds, the muscles lengthen with time. Notice if you're gripping the floor with the toes, let there be a sense of ease. And now take 5 conscious breaths. Ujjayi breath might help. The sound in the throat as you restrict the flow of air in the glottis. That sensation of fogging up a mirror with the mouth closed. And if you explored 5 breaths, you might notice that you want to roll yourself up to standing. You might notice that you might wish to step back and come down onto the belly. So your rebound is either unraveling through the spine and just pausing in stillness, standing, or just gently stepping back and taking a rebound on the abdomen, turning the head maybe to one side or just resting the forehead on the hands. And then just find stillness wherever you've landed. So again, no right or wrong. And each day will be different. Close the eyes and just feel the sensations moving through you. And then if you are standing, just roll yourself back down and then step back, and we're all going to come to child's pose. So just shift the hips back towards the heels. So if you were standing, just roll yourself down, step on back, draw up the knees back to child's pose, stillness or movement, your choice. We're just going to get nice and deep into the glutes. Going to come to swan pose, sleeping swan, also known as pigeon in more of the yang light practice. So tackle it, if you know how to come into it, we're bringing the left leg forward first, so start with left. You can come into it from downward facing dog and Just kind of lift that left leg up a little, and then as you draw the knee in, it's an external rotation of the thigh, so the shin comes down, knee comes to the right, wrist, toes to left. So walking that back foot away. And then just come to upright and see how that feels. If it's really excruciating in the knee and you've got knee pain and this is not serving you, don't sit through that pain. Discomfort is different to pain. The body sometimes just doesn't want to do certain things. Lay on your back instead. Cross your left ankle over your thigh. And then your option is to either stay if that's enough. If you've got a wall, this one's actually a really good one as well. I'll show you on maybe this wall. So you're just, same thing, just bringing the hips close to the wall, left leg on the wall, right ankle over, oh no, sorry, other way around. The right leg is on the wall, left ankle on the thigh, and again, you can adjust closer and you'll really get deep into this one. You can even have that leg lifted so you can adjust. So when we're at home, we might have wall space, or your variation is the variation where you catch the back of the thigh or the shin, or that swan position, where eventually you start to take it down. And then don't attach to having, I know we've always heard, keep the left hip back, right hip forward, try not to sit on that left hip. Yin is a little bit different. Yin, we hold the poses for a little bit of time. So you just let the body melt. And if that back knee wants to bend and that feels nice, you can come into that position, which is more of a deer pose. So the target area is the gallbladder meridian on that left side, which zigzags. So Yin works with the meridians of the body, channels that part of the body systems that we can't physically see with the human eye. We have energy moving through us, again, that we can't see through the physical eye, but we are aware that there is energy moving through us. We notice it, we feel it. And just breathe and just feel the flow of qi, which is that energy. Notice if you're clenching or holding on. Sometimes that happens, particularly when we come to movement in the glutes and hips and pelvis. We might clench fists or clench the buttocks. If you're in the swan position, an option is to reach the hands back behind you, or the option is to come up and prop yourself up. We do generally use bolsters in yin, and if you do have a bolster and you have practiced it for a while and you know how to come into it, you can definitely use the bolsters to kind of drape yourself over. We make do with what we have. And then just settle. You want to relax the feet, the toes, the hands. So unless you're holding on to the back of the leg, that will require a little bit of effort. Just unhinge the jaw. And let there be a sense of softness in the temples. Notice the left temple and the right temple. Notice the space between the eyebrows. And then from the space between the eyebrows, along to each temple, as if you're running your awareness along the eyebrows to the corner of the eye and a little bit beyond that hairline. And then bring your awareness from the two temples underneath each eye. And then back across underneath each eye to the temple. And then back to the center of the eyebrow. And then again from the center of the eyebrow, tracing that line along the eyebrows to the temple. And from the temples underneath the eye, along that bony ridge, just with your mind's eye. And then once again, all the way back to the center of the eyebrow. And then rest your awareness there. Rest your awareness as you gaze inwards, reflecting physically on what's occurring in your body. And then recognizing what's going on mentally in the mind when you have sensations in your body. Are we quick to come out? Are we quick to judge? Breathe. Settle. See if there's any more space for you to drop into. Maybe a little more depth. And for the final 5 breaths. Slow, steady breath. Not rushing them because we want those 5 breaths to end quickly. But aware of each in and out breath. Knowing the breath is life. Receiving the maximum oxygen into the body. Notice how far you've come. Notice where you are. And when you've completed 5 breaths, remembering we are all in slightly different positions. So you might press yourself up if you're in your swan position. You might come to lay on your back or your belly. So we're coming to what we call rebound. So if you're coming on your back, you might swing that left leg around and come onto your back. You might just swing that leg back to come onto the belly. If you're on the wall, you can just either straighten the legs and keep them on the wall, or just roll off the wall and release the legs. So just find a position of a neutral position. And then just witness the sensations flowing through you. This is the chi flowing through the channels of the body. It's energy. Blood flowing through the restricted areas of the body, through the muscles, the tissues, connective tissues. And just sit with that, with an inner smile. And as you tune back to your intention, breathe that intention into your being. Just be. And now just allow for some movement. If you're on your back, you can hug the knees in, rock a little. If you ended up on your belly, just push back to child's pose. If you're on a wall and you've rolled off, we're just going to transition to the second side. So you can, if you tackled it on your back, just find that right thigh over left, or find that wall and step that left foot and cross the right ankle. We'll come into downward facing dog, and you can come into sleeping swan as we did. If you did on this side, on the other side, coming into it as we did on the first side. Shin comes down. So right leg is forward this time. So the yin is the left, the yang is the right. We started with the left, the more yin, the more feminine. And now tackling the right, which is the yang, the solar, that heat, that masculine energy, which we all have, both masculine and feminine, regardless of what gender we are in this lifetime. And just take your time to journey down or to your chosen variation. Again, this side will feel very, very different. You might stay upright for a few moments in this one. Take your time to journey down. Use any props. You might bend that back knee. So again, let your body be your teacher. Breathe, and then be guided through the breath. And unhinge the jaw. And again, just paying attention to the whole of your body. Relaxing through your toes and your ankle. Relaxing the glutes, the head, the neck. The head either falls forward or it's supported by the earth. If you need support, by all means, you can cup the chin or use something underneath the forehead. And then just notice your jaw. And then just open and close the mouth a few times. Really wide. See if you can open the mouth, stretch it wide. Close it again and do that a few times, really stretching out the jaw, which we don't work all that much. And then open the mouth as wide as you can. And then move that bottom jaw around a little. Just moving the mandible, noticing how that feels. Move the muscles in the face. So you can close the mouth and kind of wriggle the nose and screw up the eyes and just see if you can kind of move the face as if you're sucking on a lemon and you've got that sour kind of face happening. Just moving all of those muscles, lips, ears maybe, the eyebrows. And then just relax the face and poke the tongue to the chin as far as you can. Stretch out the tongue as long as you can towards the chin. You can relax it at any point, bring it back in. And then try it again, stretching the tongue towards the chin. And then back in. And then just try that one more time, really stretching the tongue towards the chin. And then just relax the tongue in the mouth and maybe notice that your body melts a little deeper. You might notice that the lips are parted when the jaw is soft and released. Feel a sense of weight. To really feel the heaviness of your physicality. Keep the eyes closed. Just journey inwards. If your awareness has drifted into that inner place, just come back to that inner awareness of breath, of body. With your mind's eye, just imagine what's going on inside of you physically. How all your body systems work. How maybe the muscles lengthen, the fascia and the connective tissue, which are areas that lay over the muscles. So they get a nice workout in yin. We lengthen not just the muscles, but the connective tissues is the target when we hold these poses. Just breathing and settling. And if there's a little more space, find that now. Deep breath. Feel the union. Whole of you. As one. Hold us all as one. And let there be an exploration now of 5 more breaths. Take your time, explore your 5 slow breaths. Then once again, let your body guide you to your rebound. So whether that be on your back or your belly or just straightening the legs up on the wall, trust where your body takes you. Trust your inner compass. And just, again, just let the body be heavy still. Feel the vibration of light, of energy. Feel the essence of truth. And stillness. If you've landed where you'd like to stay, you might have landed on your back and you're quite comfortable there and you just wish to continue the rebound to continue. Just stay as you are. If you're not in a position you'd like to complete your practice in, just find that position. So my suggestion is coming onto the back. A blanket's always a really lovely suggestion to place over you, maybe just a low cushion under the head, or just traditional shavasana, separating the feet and arms. If there is lower back discomfort, you can bend the knees, have the feet wide and just knock the knees together. That might take a little pressure off the lower back. If you've got something to cover the eyes, you might place an eye pillow or just something that you've got nearby over the eyes, or maybe just dim the lights. So this is your time for you just to integrate all that we have experienced in our bodies. Just to come back home. To come back home to you. To come back home to the feel of your heartbeat in your chest. And then to feel the weight of your whole body laying here on the earth. Feeling the back of the head dropping a little deeper. Just find your chin and just a slight draw of the chin towards your chest, just a little, just so you can notice how the back of the neck lengthens somewhat. Notice the spine neutral with its natural curve and arch. Notice how the belly rises and the breath moves into the lower ribs, upper chest as you take that fullness of the breath in. Just observe what happens as you breathe out. What are you letting go of? Releasing the breath physically through the body, but we're also giving ourselves permission to fully let go. To let go of the past. To let go also of the future and any future thoughts in order to be grounded in the now. The only moment that matters is now. And this moment is perfect. There is nothing to change. Feel the rise and the fall of the belly. Breath as it moves into the upper chest, side ribs. Notice the moment of stillness, the transition of breath. Witness the exhalation as you drop in a little deeper. Perhaps your shoulders soften a little. Maybe the eyes fall a little heavier in their sockets. Maybe the tongue rests just a little deeper. Feel your whole body as if it's melting into Mother Earth. Stripping back all of the layers of who we think we are. Just to make way for who we essentially are. This living, breathing organism. Soul that occupies this body. Calling that moves us in a certain direction. Trusting that inner compass. And that is all we have to guide us. The answers always reside within us. Just breathe, be fully embodied, fully human, and fully divine. Just taking 5 more conscious breaths. Slow, steady, and smooth. Aware that you are breathing. Aware that you don't have to do anything or change anything. That everything is whole, perfect, and complete as it is. Complete your 5 cycles of breath. If you wish to remain, you're more than welcome to stay laying down. If you wish to move a little and to kind of stir and to come out of your final Shavasana, you can. So give yourself full permission to choose. If you opt just to stay, you can stay, and I will leave you here. If for those of you who wish to come up, you can just gently, mindfully press yourself up into a seat. Just to come back to our home base, rooting down through the base of the spine as we connect to Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama. And then you'll feel the energy from the earth moving up through the spine to the crown, connecting us to source, to divine, to that which is beyond our physical form. And bring those 2 polarities, heaven and earth, into the center of the chest. Bring your palms together, right at that center place, just to honor space within us that is light, that is free-flowing, that is love. And as you bow in recognition to the divine light that you are, and the divine light that I am, recognize that sense of yoga, of union, of connectedness, of one. So that is essentially the words of Namaste, the translation. I see you. I see myself in you and you in me. So namaste. Have a beautiful journey into your evening. Be well, sleep well, take care. come out whenever you're ready if you are laying down. So if you need to ever reach out, just you can reach out. It's so beautiful to have you all here. Hopefully, we can all come together personally really soon. Much love, much gratitude. I will see you all soon. See you, beautiful people. Oh, much love. Bye. Thanks, Penelope. See you all. All right, I'm ending. All right, see you.